To me, horror is one of the most interesting forms of entertainment that exists. It's the kind of place that you go with your friends and you know you're going to be scared and you know you're going to feel vulnerable and insecure and you're not going to have that safety blanket that always feels like it's over you. And you go in, you see whatever movie you're going to see, you get scared through the music, the jump scares, just an overall weird, zany, creepy plot, and all of these villains that you've seen on the screen, they feel, for the first time, they feel real in the real world. I remember whenever I was a kid, I went to see Nightmare on Elm Street. I was in 8th grade, and I had never really seen a horror movie up to that point. And I went with 3 of my friends, and I was the only one that was genuinely scared to the point of kind of curled up in a ball in my seat while I was embarrassing myself in a mostly empty theater. I'm sure my friends still remember that as a very interesting moment for Scott. But the reason that I want to talk about it is not necessarily about horror specifically. I actually only want to talk about one movie trailer that I found incredibly strange, because horror is a mix of so many things. As I said, it's a mix of music, timing, the tone of the movie, and it actually, the other thing, what I think is the most important thing for horror is it's made in a way that when someone goes to see a movie or goes to like a haunted house or a haunted corn maze or something, when someone goes to that location, they've put themselves in the mindset that they're going to get scared. And then that allows them to react better and more, I don't know if it's authentic, but they just react to the movie. I saw the trailer for the new It Chapter 2 movie coming out, and I couldn't help but, even me, someone who's very easily scared by anything, everything and anything, I couldn't help but think, this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. And I just want to talk about why I feel that way. If you like the movies, great. I wish you all the joy in the world, but I just saw the trailer and it's like they're trying to make a comedy, but nobody else understands it. And I just want to talk a little bit about why. So clowns are a really, really good and kind of easy way to make a lot of crowds scared. Most people are scared of them already, and why not see where you can take that? Well, It, and Pennywise the Clown, is incredibly creepy. The makeup's weird, the way that he acts and talks and everything is weird, but it's still just a movie, and it's one that, yeah, a lot of people set themselves up to get scared at, but it's still just a movie, and the movie seems weird to me if you actually apply random or straightforward logic to it as opposed to random, I want to go to this movie and be scared. And I just want to look at the trailer and show you why I think that. So what I want to look at first is the teaser trailer. It came out a few months back, and I actually was thinking about making the video whenever it came out, but I kind of put it on the back burner for a little bit. But I want to talk about the absurdity of how the movie starts just from its trailer. So it starts off with one of the main characters, grown up from the first movie, going to see her old home, and she knocks on the door, or rings the doorbell, and this elderly woman opens it, and it creaks open, real careful, real quiet.
Yes, can I help you?
I used to live here.
She opens, she's like sticking her head out of like this much space, and she's like, who is it? Why are you here? Hello? 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 Like a senile woman, she's just like, who the fuck are you? And this girl was like, yeah, well, I live here, or I used to live here, and I'd like to see it again. This is the first point I want to make. Who does that? I've seen it in a comedy like Mr. Deeds with Adam Sandler. I saw it happen there, and I still thought it was weird. She was excited to go see the house that they had grown up in, and it didn't even... It was used as a comedic element because he never actually lived there. He was making up this story. But what was so strange is the fact that this elderly woman let the main character in. Now I know for plot purposes she needed to go in. She needed to have that next step into the creepiness that is Pennywise, blah blah blah. But then it just keeps getting weirder, but it's not scary weird, it's weird. The next thing that happens is the main character is just kind of sitting there, you know, enjoying herself, looking at old pictures, looking through the apartment. So I find it a little bit weird that the main character is already allowed in this house, but she sits down, she starts going through her, you know, past belongings, reminiscing with the house. And then the elderly woman that lets her in is like, okay, well, I'll be right back. And then she just turns and kind of walks away, and the camera changes angles a little bit, so it's not like a really bad movement, but she ends up in the back of the scene, far back, all the way back here, and then the music gets all creepy, right? You know, you got strings playing, maybe a hardcore piano, just thumping away. And then this lady, who's like 90, and already has this creepy, eerie feeling, just... like a fucking ape. And that's not scary. I don't care if this woman's possessed by the devil himself. That's stupid. That's not scary at all. It's unbelievable. But they have the little creepy music, so it's scary for some people. Even me, watching it, because the music is playing in that way, and the scene is built in such a way that you're supposed to be scared, it's hard to not feel that. But if you just think that, oh, well, this is some elderly woman waving her arms around like a maniac, she probably just threw out her hip because she's running around like that. That's not scary, it's weird, and it's gonna continue to be weird, and even if the music was gone, it'd be real fucking weird. Let's actually watch that real quick. Let's see how weird it would be without any music. It's just fucking weird. There's no other way to put it. And then what's even weirder is the entire teaser is all about making this woman seem strange. You know, that unsettled feeling in the back of your head. You're watching it, you're like, something's not right. Something's fucked up. Something's not right in this scene at all. And you're thinking that, and then all of a sudden they start talking, and this woman brings up the weirdest quote.
Well, you feel like you could just about die. But you know what they say about Derry. No one who dies here ever really dies.
And then after said quote, she just awkwardly smiles and stares at the camera in the perspective of the protagonist. She's just sitting there. Is that scary? Does that scare you? This weird woman who could have like some issues just staring? It's not weird. If I have someone staring at me and I'm in public, like I'm thinking, okay, this is a weirdo, but I'm not thinking, oh man, I'm terrified, I gotta get the fuck out of here. There's not these weird violins and shit playing in the back of my head saying run. It's just this weird lady. You take away the music and all the fear and all the horror is gone, and I think that's such a cheap way to get a scare. But this lady just sits there. And that's all they did. That's all they did to get the scare. And it just keeps escalating from there. Eventually you start to see, she mentions, oh, my dad was in the circus, and it looks eerily like Pennywise. And so again, it's just creepy shit, and then it's just real weird. And then she goes to the back of the camera, the back of the shot, again, leaves the frame, peers out like a fucking rabbit, trying to see if it's safe from a cat, peeking out. And then she's just naked, and then she just sprints across the back. This is a woman that needs serious medical and mental attention. But no, there's a little violin playing and all of a sudden you're scared. That's fucking delusional. It blows my mind. I don't understand horror, I guess. But then she's naked, and then she sprints across the back, and you're like, okay, that's pretty fucking weird, but the protagonist doesn't see that yet. And then the protagonist is like, she gets up and is like, you know what? I am starting to realize that this is a little bit weird. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get out of here. I think it's time. I think it's time for me to go.
Are you still his little girl, Beverly? Are you?
And then boom, the naked old lady sprints at her. That's hilarious. I could see that in like a sketch, like a comedy special. I could see that in a funny movie where it's just like a weird elderly woman. Like think about The Hangover, when the role that Ken Jeong is playing, he pops out of the trunk butt naked and it's fucking hilarious. But no, the theme of this movie is creepy music and a clown, so all of a sudden this creepy old lady who's sprinting naked at the main character, that's horrifying? No, it's not. It's just as funny as it is in The Hangover. You take away the music and you just see the dumbest thing, and I love it. I think it's hilarious. And so I'm sitting here watching this trailer, one that makes other people completely just unsettled. They're like, oh fuck, Pennywise is coming back. They're making another one. The first one was good, but Pennywise is back. I can't wait. I can't wait at all. And yeah, Pennywise is a weird villain. But fuck, dude. Make it scarier. I don't care about some old lady sprinting naked at someone. That's cause for concern. But I'm not sitting there pissing myself because I'm terrified. I'm just laughing. And I should be, and I feel like everyone should be. I don't know, this is just about the teaser. Look, the trailer, the movie's probably gonna be fine. It's probably gonna be plenty scary, but if you take away the horror elements of something as like a 2-minute teaser trailer and you just look at it at face value, there's nothing you can do but laugh at it because it's so ridiculous. It reminds me, the only other trailer that I can think of offhand that made me just laugh was Jurassic World 2. I don't even know what it was called offhand. It might have just been Jurassic World 2, but Chris Pratt is running from all these CGI dinosaurs. I'm pretty sure there's a volcano going off because history or some shit. And he's just running down. But he's running like he's never used his legs before. Instead of like a nice run like this. Instead of that, he's sprinting down the hill, like waving his arms like an idiot. His legs are all over the place. But it's a tense moment because he's running from dinosaurs. No, it's not. It's not a tense moment. It's ridiculous. No one runs like that ever. And if they do, well, I mean, you do you, right? But also, like, no, that's not how you do it. Dude, I don't fucking get it. I try to go into movies with unbiased thoughts. I want to go to a movie and I want to enjoy it. But when I see dumb shit like this, it just blows my mind. It's like they want you to look at this movie and be like, you're gonna watch it anyway and we're gonna steal those $10, but you're gonna hate every second of it. And I do. Anytime I see a movie, I just hate it. It's the worst. It's the worst thing I could ever do to myself. And I don't know why I continue to do it, but I do. But man, old naked ladies sprinting at people and Chris Pratt running like a moron down a hill away from CGI dinosaurs and it's just so dumb. Man, I wish people could make better trailers. Because there's still so many people that are out there that see this trailer with the naked old lady and they're like, that is the epitome of fear. That's it. That old lady. You know what? Let's add some kids singing in this bitch and it'll be terrifying. Because apparently the only thing that can scare people is babies or children and elderly people. But there are so many other creepier things that exist. Pennywise himself as a villain is creepy, but instead they're gonna use him like embodying an old lady or something. I don't know what the purpose of that lady is, but if they just showed Pennywise doing his fucked shit like they did in the real trailer, then it would be terrifying, and I'd be like, okay, that's gonna be a scary movie. But instead, they just made it a naked lady, and that's dumb. Someone needs to be fired for that. I hope people get a laugh out of it like I did because it was so funny to me. Oh man, that's it. Look, this video sucks, but I just think it's so funny. These fucking teaser trailers are so absolutely awful. And they just make me laugh, and I felt like I needed to say something because, you know what, I needed a good laugh today, and I understand that a lot of people think that these movies are terrifying, and I think that the source material and the movies themselves, I think they're both scary. For all I know, like I think that they would terrify everybody or anybody who read them, unless they're like completely unempathetic or just immune to fear. But man, that was the worst thing I've ever seen.